Welcome to episode 8 of Chinese Horror Movies Explained. In a country where horror movies are heavily regulated and censored, filmmakers need to find clever ways to get around regulations, and in this series, we explore how they did it. If you like this and are interested in seeing more, please remember to like and subscribe, and if you know of a Chinese horror movie you want us to look at, leave a comment below. And an obvious warning, but this is pretty much a spoiler-filled video. Watch at your own peril. In this episode, we explore the 2019 film Midnight Melody, directed by legendary modern Chinese horror cinema director Shilei Lu. This is his final horror film. But good news for you is that this is only the third movie of his we've looked at. There's still 3 more to go. In a real shock to the system, this movie doesn't feature anyone from his previous movies. He either lost contact with his usual suspects, or they finally told him no more. Actually, I lie. This movie stars Li Ermei, who starred in the director's only non-horror film battle between Song and Liao dynasties, Zeyu Li, Hexi Cao, and Yaqi Zhang. And yes, it's made by Filmoon, but it doesn't have their usual cool animation intro at the start. This film features a lot of Shilei Lu's trademarks: floating ghosts, mental illness, face-off mask reveals, horribly loud ADR with bad lip syncing,
行了行了，你别胡思乱想了，你再歇会儿，我去打盆水给你擦擦脸啊。
and empty hospitals. Even his usual music track that he recycles in every movie is here. And while the location of the house is different, the basement has been recycled from one of his previous movies. Oh god, I know too much about this director. Without seeing all his films yet, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this could be his best horror movie ever, although you know how low the bar has been set if you saw the last episode on Ghost in Barbers. Shenzhe is haunted by the ghost of his dead fiancée. You know, if this was an American horror movie, that would be more than enough. We could finish this video and move on. But we know that's not the case here, so let's deep dive into Midnight Melody. Shenzhe discovers the dead body of his fiancée Xinlan at the stroke of midnight. She's drunk a whole bottle of wine and managed to be coherent enough to slash her wrists. In an awesome sequence, the body rises off the bed, thunderstorm crashing in the background, to reiterate to Shenzhe that she's fine. She says it in English, and who am I to argue with a ghost? A few years later, Shenzhe has moved on. It's the birthday of his new girlfriend, Jing, as well as their 100-day anniversary, which is kinda creepy as he seems to know the exact second of how long he's known her for. He's coming across desperate, and she can tell. She smartly avoids his marriage proposal by claiming the soup is burning. She couldn't use the washing my hair excuse, obviously, since she's right next to him, so this is clearly the next best thing. Something, or someone, is watching them, and then Jing finds a $2 rubber mask in the kitchen. This mask belongs to the dead fiancé. Then a revelation: Jing feels the house is haunted. Luckily for us, she's predicting this. Someone rings the doorbell, but of course there's no one there except the rubber mask from the kitchen. They freak out. Someone's broken into the house, grabbed the mask from the rubbish bin, and then stuck it in the mailbox. It has to be a ghost, and the ghost is messing with them big time, playing music in the bedroom. Even more creepy stuff occurs, including this weird painting that no one seems to have noticed, which is infinitely more creepier than anything going on in this movie. As they panic and decide to leave the house with a tiny blue backpack, the front door is locked shut and the power goes out. Let's skip forward a bit because I don't really want to give a complete play-by-play of what's going on here. Suffice to say, fiancé ghost is real, and its appearance costs Shenzhe a trip to the hospital where it continues to stalk him. Oh, did I tell you that his fiancée was a nurse? You might have picked that up from what she's wearing. In the hospital, Jing surprises Shenzhe with some news. Xiaoxi, Jing's annoying friend that she met traveling, bullshit, has come to visit. This scene raises a lot of questions. The obvious one is, what is she doing in the hospital? But to tell you now would be to spoil the movie, believe it or not.
长得还挺帅的嘛，看起来跟我们家安静还是有点般配的，这我就放心了。
小希，
哎呀，不好。
A strange confession occurs in the hospital that's actually pretty important to the story. Some of the worst Dynasty Warrior style music plays as Shunja tells on Jing about his dead fiancée and how he is suspected of killing her. Cue the look of a woman who doesn't believe him, and the creepy Dr. Zhang knows something. This doctor, the one who's also treating Shunja, doesn't respect boundaries. He knew Xinlan since she worked at the hospital and he liked to flirt with her, but she rejected him. Does he want Shunja dead? Maybe, but he really wants to tell Shunja there's something wrong with his brain, trying to use that as an excuse for him to see all the ghosts and other weird stuff. Annoyingly, Xiaoxi is going to stay with them, and worried about Shenzhen's declining mental health, she invites a friend, Luo Jin, who appears to be a massage therapist, to come and visit as well. Seriously, who gave her the right to do that? I told you she was annoying. In their first therapy session, Luo Jin uses some kind of incense to relax Shenzhe. The technique relaxes Shenzhe so much that he sees the ghost of Xinlan again. You know, on reflection, I don't think this is very relaxing. In the basement of the house, a little shrine to Xinlan is created. Anjin thinks that this could be a good way for him to come to terms with her untimely death. Eventually it gets to the point when Shunja has had enough. He swaps out the sandalwood used by the therapist, and during the next session, things get real and the first revelation of this movie occurs. The ghost of Xinlan appears again, demanding to know who killed her. A weird thing for a ghost to demand since they should already know who killed them. Shunja tries to catch the ghost, but it escapes, and then he confronts the masseuse who can tell something is up. After getting him drunk and tying him up, in a non-sexual way, the truth starts to be revealed. The masseuse has been using sandalwood chips to hypnotize Shunja into seeing a ghost. So explanation number 1, our main character is hypnotized into seeing ghosts. Hypnotism is one of the Chinese government's approved explanations for seeing ghosts in movies, and it's good to see this chestnut being used in this film. I haven't seen it used in a while. You're thinking, what's with the hypnotism? What is he trying to gain? On cue, Xiaoxi, the annoying one, calls the masseuse and admits she was almost caught by Shenzhe.
晚上的药下清了。
要死啊！我差点被抓住，幸亏我反应快。现在怎么样了？
哦，你放心，刚才我重新下药了，他睡过去了。
Explanation 2 kicks in here. Xiaoxi is pretending to be the ghost of Xinlan. But why? What is the reason they're all playing these tricks on Shenzhe? And why are they using the ghost of his dead fiancée to do it? I'm going to give you 5 seconds of thinking time to see if you can guess why.
原来你也会怕呀？这东西不是你的吗？
Have you worked it out yet? Xiaoxi isn't as tough as she wants to make out she is. She is annoying though, and she drops a truth bomb. She is Xinlan's half-sister. Although let's think about it. Shunja didn't know she had a half-sister, and I think telling your partner about a potential sibling is a pretty important thing in a relationship. So she couldn't have been that important, right? But wait, there's more. Anjing isn't the perfect angel either. Down the basement where the shrine to Xinlan is, Anjing confronts Shenzhe and admits she's also Xinlan's half-sister. His dead fiancée had 2 half-sisters, and she never told him? Goes to show how important they are. However, due to the rather poor translation, I'm not sure if half-sister is correct, and whether it could actually mean they were more close friends. At this stage, Dr. Zhang has also snuck in the house, hoping to hear Shenzhe admit what everyone is hoping to hear, that he is the reason Xinlan is dead. But he refuses. He admits he loves her, and this story doesn't change. Xinlan was suicidal. And why was she suicidal? Well, this cute little note tries to explain, but it's written in English. Xinlan has been calling out for help for a long time. using her folded paper cranes to hide her message in plain view. Fun fact, upside down the message says "I'm fine," the same words that Xin Lan said to Shenzhe when she first appeared to him as a ghost. Everyone, including Dr. Zhang, is upset they never picked up her depression, which led to her suicide. But this is where the filmmaker goes and f***s everything up by coming up with an almost comical explanation for her state of mind. She's suffering from smell depression. What? In the actual This is supposed to be a touching and emotional scene, but I was in stitches. Was this deliberate by the filmmaker to make it so ridiculous? Am I a bad person for laughing? Anyway, the movie ends with Onjing giving a presentation to a group of medical professionals about smell depression and how this could lead to suicidal thoughts in patients and what she wants to do to raise awareness about it. This could be the reason why this is Shilei Lu's last ever horror movie. If this is a personal movie for the director, I apologise for being so insensitive, but I think there was probably a better way you could have honoured the memory of someone other than this film. Speaking of the film, this is still technically classed as a horror film, even though, like always, it turns into a thriller and an accidental comedy. I do question the use of the director's obsession with rubber masks, but I'm glad we don't actually have one of his usual face-off reveals. There are a few both nice and annoying touches in this film, the good being the great use of horror camera angles. I have to admit Shilei Lu is good at that, but I'm not sure what else he's good at other than recycling the same locations and music as well as ideas. His homage to Forrest Gump at the start is interesting, as we follow a floating feather that defies the laws of gravity and wind and is a nice touch. However, I am annoyed at the birds that have free rein to roam the house. They'd be shitting everywhere, surely. And I do think at certain stages of the film, the director just wanted to make a comedy. Check out this Pink Panther inspired music when Xiaoxi sneaks back into the house to dress up as the ghost. I also want to know more about this magic spray they keep using on Shenzhe. Thankfully, that's it for Midnight Melody. Next episode, we're going to take a look at a movie that is just as ridiculous as this one, Seven Fright Nights, starring Popeye. Don't worry, that'll become clear when you watch the episode. Subscribe to ensure you get an alert when it comes out. Thanks for watching.